Hi everyone. Welcome to the episode 6 of Leaders, a podcast where we celebrate women leaders. Before introducing our guest today, let us recall about a very brave lady, Muthulakshmi Reddy. In her 1800s, she is a feminist, activist, and the first female doctor from Madras Medical College. And she is the founder of Cancer Institute in 1954. Apart from this, the very few important things we need to remember about her is she is the one who hailed from Devadasi community and rallied against the culture of Devadasi and helped to abolish the system. And the same has been passed in the parliament because of her activism. She was very bright, so her protests are taken very seriously. Not only in the abolition of Devadasi culture, but also she was struggling for the voting rights of women and increased the marriage age of women. During her own marriage, what she expected from her husband was all about equal rights and self-respect. In that time itself, she stood for herself and for others, and her contributions towards the society of women is immense. Today also, lot of people's independence, especially women independence, her blood is there in that. So it's time to celebrate her in our platform. It's already about the celebration of each other, right? And coming back to the episode 6, we are having a very experienced and seasoned leader in our podcast today. Neha Lobo from IBM. She heads the performance marketing for India and SIA. Without any further delay, let's welcome Neha to the show. Hi, Neha. Welcome to the show. Super excited and
Hi,
happy to host you.
good morning, Scindia. Happy to be here, and you're doing a great job. I'm very proud of you having a full-time job, a full-time home, all of it, and then you manage something like this. It's amazing. It's amazing you're pulling off something like this.
Thank you, Neha. People like you are the inspiration for me, and sometime I wanted to become like all of you. So, hence, learning in the learning phase, and thanks for your kind words and compliments. So, your 2.5 decades of experience is something incredible. So, we wanted to know the journey from your side, Neha.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a lot of color on my hair, covering the grays. Let me tell you, 24 years of my career started with selling space and time in Radio Midday, and from there
Oh,
moved into selling software in retail industry and automotive industry. And then dabbled 1 year as an entrepreneur and landed at IBM. Okay, a seller by heart. I've always done sales. This year, it is like almost like 50-50. Sales and marketing is 50-50 on my CV right now. So I'm happy. I'm happy, and marketing has been a nice place where I could do a lot of innovation, and I'm happy in a happy place in marketing. But like I said, seller by heart, and I'm a mother of two teenagers now, so I'm busy, upping my self-awareness as a mother and as a leader. So it's an interesting phase, I must tell you. Yeah. So that's my journey so far.
it's an interesting journey, and I'm sure, being 25 years of experience, a lot of people would have asked you about the challenges you faced and how you grown. We have also done the same thing in the past episodes, but we had a feeling that having an experienced guest like you, who is successful in a managerial position for very long time, we thought this episode we will steer the discussion towards the opportunities available for women in the workplace, how they can explore the fullest potential of themselves and use the opportunity and climb up the corporate ladder. So, in your experience, let us know, Neha, what is the mindset women who's aspiring to climb up to the leadership position and sustain their need to have in today's context?
I think I get the question on challenges, India. I think if I look back before IBM, I was the only girl in the sales team in all my 3-4 jobs. Okay, first girl to join the sales team and continue in the job. So yeah, there's a lot of discussion that we do on challenges. We have come a long way, And today, I think that I believe if you wake up in the morning and decide to walk through that door, virtual or real door to your workplace, and you have a mindset to excel in what you do, then the challenges and the triumphs are the same. You are a man or a woman, you will face the same things. But the difference here is, how do you want to react? What is your choice? And what do you want to do? And how do you want to react? So, two things come to my mind. One skill which we are gifted, and I want to talk about that. When a girl child is born in a family, there's a lot of excitement of how she is so articulate, right? She brings in happiness, she brings people together, she's very expressive. I think if we can hone that skill, we are great communicators. Look at yourself, right? You bring people together and communicate for a purpose. I think that is
Correct.
one of our strengths which we can hone. And to climb up the leadership ladder, communication becomes an important, area to work on. Different styles of communication, communication to inspire people, to get your work done, to solve problems, to bond within inside the team and outside the team and make your allies. So I think that is one gift we have as women. We should play on our strength, uh, you know polish it very well and be out there. So that's one thought I have. The other skill, as women, we pack in a lot. We pack in a lot in a day, right? Look at
Correct.
yourself, where you're doing a lot and you do it with elan and style. You don't show that it is a great thing that I'm doing so many things, right? Like, it's very hard. You don't show that. So we have the ability to pack in variety onto our plate, and we deliver it effortlessly. I think that's a big skill, because what is leadership? Leadership is about the scope of work, right? You have different varied stuff you work. Morning, you're talking about pipeline. Afternoon, you're talking about client journey. In the evening, you're talking about content play, content strategy. The variety which we are used to as women, right from our wardrobe and the way we deal with all relationships in life, whether it is a toddler at home or whether it is a elderly at home. So that ability is another important thing which we can work on to climb up the leadership ladder. To summarize, these are the two things: great communication and the
Multitasking.
scope. Yeah, I would say variety.
Very good.
Not one given. Yeah, not one given time you are spending in multiple things, but one given day or in a job where you can take variety is a strength. So
Correct.
that's my thought, Sindhya.
Amazing, amazing insights, Neha. One of the previous discussions we had, I remember you bringing up a point that how women are making mistakes in ascertaining their grounds in workplace, like salary, opportunities. So, in your experience and in your learnings, what you wanted to say to all of us to ascertain how to ascertain our grounds in the workplace?
I think, let me tell you a story. Recently, not very recent, but in the recent past, I was attending a senior leadership workshop at IBM. And our facilitators had asked this question, saying that, if you found a job opening and you found that you are only 60% fitment, would you apply? Or 60 to 70% fitment, would you apply? Right? And I almost 98% of women said no, they wouldn't. Then we got to learn that if it was a full room of men, you would have seen everybody saying, yeah, I would, because it is a 60% match, right? So we are sort of perfectionists and we want to tick all the boxes,
All the
unless
boxes,
we
correct.
very clear that, yeah, and then we want to say that 100% match, then I would go put up
Then
my hand. So what happens in this situation is we may not be the ones who are putting up our hand many times and saying, I can do that job. Why don't you give me that job? Right? So I'm not sure whether we need to term it as a mistake, but I think that is a blind spot for us. Let's look at it and see, are we doing that? I would leave our viewers with that thought. Please retrospect. Are you putting up your hands and saying that you can do this? And are you being bold enough to do that? So that's one. And the second one was I participated in a panel discussion with some amazing women who are forming the ecosystem of financial stuff, right, for women, helping them to make decisions on finances. One, most women there had point of view that they are very shy to talk about money. We've been
Ah,
taught not to discuss money. Money is not something which is a girl child, discussion. It is a boy discussion. So I felt, I've always been driven by money. So I was the shameless person on that group to say that, no, I love money. I want to make money. And that is why I'm going to office, right? So I would say that this attitude of us towards money, saying that no, I don't want to go and ask for a raise.
right.
Should I not? I think we should just drop that. I mean, if you feel that you're right place, right time, and this is the discussion you want to have with your manager, go sit and have the discussion. It is completely okay to have a money discussion. So I think these are the two things which I was referring to in our last conversation as well. Yeah, some blind spots we as women have.
I'm sure this is an eye opener for many out there, right? In fact, I could relate this with you, because I am very outspoken and I always stand up for myself, because I always feel that if I am not talking for myself, who will be coming and advocating for me? So whenever there was a lack of growth, whenever I found that I'm stagnated, I always have an open discussion with my managers, across last, a decade and more. I always do that. Okay, if I'm not eligible for a raise or promotion, what I should do to be there, where I am lagging, how can I improve? So I have this open discussion. There is nothing wrong about it, right? As you rightly said, that we all are going to office, and we wanted to achieve a career, we wanted to have an interesting career, and we wanted to earn. It's not like we will have a career and if they are not paying us, we are still okay with it, right? So you are right. And also I
Absolutely.
completely agree with the perfectionist fact also. Even I would have done 100 events, over 100 events, but one event slightly something goes wrong, I'll not sleep that time. Sometimes we are very hard on ourselves also, right? And that is the reason,
Yeah,
as you
true.
rightly said, sometimes we don't pick up certain opportunities thinking that we may not do justice,
Yes.
without even feeling 100% I may not be able to give. It is not like always 100% is life. Very, very interesting insight. I'm sure many will be benefiting from this thought, Neha. Thank you a lot. um, I'm sure over you have spent a lot of time in IBM. We all know IBM is a great place to work, and in your over 25 years, definitely you would have come across a lot of diversity and inclusive program in the workplace. Some would have worked, some would have not worked. So, according to you, what worked well you have seen personally, and what you think will not work, or what should we do according to you?
I wouldn't have anything which I can highlight as what did not work, because our teams at IBM, the diversity and inclusion teams, keep innovating, keep moving things, and refreshing the programs. I must tell you, currently what we are focused on is equity, building equity, be it man and woman, changing mindset, and building programs. Let me give you an example. Okay, it's not about women only, but if you are talking about in today's day and age, the new parents, with COVID, everybody being homebound, and you have an elderly at home, and you have a young kid, toddler, or baby at home. New parents are the ones who are kind of struggling, right? A lot of things they need to manage. So being empathetic, the team actually trains all managers to have that discussion with new parents. There is maternity leave, which we know that's about 6 months. We've also introduced something like paternity leave, which is about 20 working days, which means a father can get at least 1 month with the newborn. And we are encouraging fathers who are on our teams to say that why don't you take off and
Right.
contribute to the family, right? So it's more than equal thing, and it's about equity building and addressing cohorts like this, like the new parents. Then there is another set of cohort who is like the young women who don't want to put up their hands for anything bigger. Even if they are high performing women, they don't put up their hands because they feel that, oh, now if I get married, then I would have a family, I won't be able to cope up. And so they just let all the good opportunities pass by. So our teams have got a program to address these high performing leaders, coaching them, having giving them mentors, and opening their eyes and shifting mindsets to say that look at how women can balance it out. So training them to negotiate within the family and at office, telling them how to manage. It is not a scary place. You don't have to always stay in the same job and not take up bigger jobs, even if you can do it. Because you think it is a scary place. I have to take care of another team. I'm not in for it right now because I want to pay attention to my new, family and all of those kind of things. So there are multiple such programs, Cynthia, what IBM runs, and there is a program which also is addressing senior leadership, which gives them the confidence of breaking their own self beliefs. Right, we all come with our own self beliefs, and that is limiting a lot of us to say how do we break boundaries, how do we scale up, and things like that. So all of these programs are happening internally, and like I said, depending on the response, depending on how people are, benefiting from it, the team keeps bringing up new things and running it for a while, and then changing that. But net, these are some things that's happening, and I think it's all heading in the right direction.
I always hail about Freshworks for their initiatives in all these areas. In fact, this year I also got a chance to perform as a diversity, equality, and inclusive council member. I'm sure I will take
Nice.
certain success leaves from you all, and we will implement as much as possible. In fact, one thing Freshworks is highly concentrating is diversity and equality is happening at a level, and when the level goes up, the layer thins, and you will not see much women leaders in certain area. Maybe HR you will see, marketing you will see, but you will not see in product, you will not see in technical,
Yeah.
right? You will not see in sales. So we are consciously trying to build that in every layer, in every manager's level and every team's level. I'm sure companies like this are there, and maybe now it is 20% of companies are like that, and still 80% are catching up with it. But I'm sure we are heading towards the right direction, as you said. And in whatever discussion I had with you, one thing I learned in the overall thing is there are challenges and opportunities. And personally and institutionally, we need to overcome that. Personally, we as women need to need not be hard on ourselves. Certain skills we need to build for ourselves, go and stand up for ourselves, be outspoken, be a performance driven, compete with everybody, not getting into a shell that we will not be able to do, or we are women, or anything. Sometimes I used to say in a reverse also it true, right? Certain times we play the victim. Hey, I'm a woman, how will I attend calls at night? You are asking me to go out, so that is also not required. But if you wanted to go for a position, if you're coming, just make up your mind for it, and whatever you want, go and do accordingly. So this is what I learned from your session, Neha. It was very, very interesting. So as a vision for you, today we are heading towards the right direction, but in the future, for the future women workplace, what will be your vision?
Okay, that's a big question for me. Uh, I think if I look at uh, the era where we are, Cynthia, we are lucky to see both sides, right? What happened with our grandparents to what happened to our moms, and how are we shifting to ourselves, and what are we going to plan for our children, right? So we
Right.
have a nice view. We have a nice view and a lot of learnings from historical data and from the current and what we want to do with our children. So I have a daughter. So if I were to say what is the vision I have for women at workplace, would be like we are equal partners to growth of an organization. Yeah. So when all that you just said, right? We want to do certain things, but that we limit ourselves. We don't go all out because we are worried about whether something, one of the balls which we are struggling or juggling will
Will
drop off.
drop off.
That kind of thing. I think we should just let go of all of that and look at it as how can we partner for the growth of the organization and also the economy and the society in large, right? With equal
Correct.
voice, equal partnership, equal ability to come and deliver. So I think that's what we need to be bold and just go all out. Uh, in today's paper, Scindia, today I think it's somewhere lying around here. Uh, it says the line says something like, everybody knows that woman is smart or something like that except her, or women can do
Very
except
true.
her,
Very
that
true.
kind. I wanted to have that when we were talking. I just left
Very
it
true.
behind. Yeah, yeah. So that's the thing. So we are in an era where there is internet. Can you imagine? We can just mobilize, learn, share, ask all these kind of things, and learn from each other. You don't have to really go through it, but learn from somebody else's mistake, somebody else's success, and grow. So I think we have the best of both worlds. From here, it is just going upward.
That's amazing thought, Neha. Amazing thought. Very inspiring, in fact. Any this I ask everyone. So, any one women leader or in industry or a fellow colleague who you admire to?
Okay, I don't have a one name, so I'll tell you why. Because my belief is every day to day who I'm interacting, the number of hours I spend with people on a day to day basis, my colleagues at workplace, my friends, my mother, my mother-in-law, all of these women have different things to inspire me, right? So I don't have one name as such to talk about. So what my philosophy is that you will find something about somebody to inspire, irrespective what they're doing in life. But there will be something that will inspire you. So I pick up from everybody a bit of like the thali system, the Indian thali system. Something about you, something about another friend, something about another lady at the office. So I love that. So all the women who have supported me in my career at IBM for the last 18 years, all the women outside of IBM who is in my community, who is part and parcel of the games I play. We are very active physically. We do a lot of games. So all of them, everybody has a little bit of they rub a little bit of their positivity on me. And currently, I have a teenage daughter who's like the mirror. So she has something to tell you as well. So I feel I don't have a name, and I I know there are big leaders out there, but what I feel is I don't know them beyond what they say in that 20-30 minutes of their speak, right? So I give credit to people who are around me while I get inspired by big leaders. But yeah, people around me is my inspiration.
That's very true, right? I have told multiple times in the podcast. My mother is my first and big inspiration, and still learning from her. So I can relate to that, Aneha. Uh, we have spoken about women opportunities, leadership. So looking at your career, you said you are seller by heart, and currently now you are in a very interesting role called performance marketing. So let's learn more about your role as a performance marketing leader in IBM. What you do, and tell us something about your role.
Okay, I'm in marketing, and for a living, what I do is to create a demand for IBM products, software solutions, technology solutions, and services. I create demand along with a big, lovely team of mine, and as a brand hat, I look at how we connect emotional level with our buyers and tell the story of how technology is helping businesses and society in large. So entire gamut you could think of, whether it is digital, events, social, content play, all of that, and packed with data and analytics. That's my life in a day if I were to sum it up. Yeah, a lot of campaigns, a lot of all those things that goes into making something beautiful.
When you speak about story campaigns, the one thing I could relate is video as a tool. Today, in the COVID era, especially, and everything is virtual, and there is a lot of content to consume, and designing a clutter-free campaign is something very, very important. So, how video as a tool plays in your role, Neha?
Video is an interesting medium, Scindia. All of us would agree. You put in a post which is written versus a video, you would see a lot of interaction, lot of clicks, and all of that because I think it has its own appeal, right? And it also gives very authentic. You feel authentic when you can see the emotions and authenticity. Do you want to play that video, and then I can probably talk through how
Sure,
how to use it.
sure, Neha.
I was born in a village where people had to travel far to get to a hospital.
My name is Sujay Santra, founder and CEO at IKEA. I was traveling back to one of the villages, and by the time when I reached, I saw a lot of people. As we know, for every 6,000 people, we just have only one doctor. We will not be able to provide these doctors in every village all the time. If I am able to use technology to touch millions of people, that would be wonderful. iCure is setting up a chain of clinics with the objective of providing affordable and accessible healthcare using technology. We capture various kinds of data for a patient, let's say whether male, female, age, then also whether any prehistorical conditions are there. How can I understand which are the patients at the highest risk based on their severity? It was extremely difficult for us to manage data in a very effective way. So we thought how we can take help of IBM Cloud to rank these patients. Using the help of the IBM data scientists, we were able to perfect the score just the way a cardiologist would be able to rank the patient. If I have these patients which needs access to the cardiologist on an immediate basis, we will be able to present these cases to the doctors first. The purpose is not to replace the doctors. The purpose is actually to help the doctors take the right decisions. The goal of IKEA is to provide healthcare for all.
Very nice video.
So it was about storytelling, right? It was about how the solution has actually helped the core problem. So I think that's powerful. And that can happen only if you have a video as a medium. It really tells us what is the story behind, and every client can understand what they can achieve, at least in similar situations, or put it in a different use case and visualize it. Uh, Secondly, I think if when it becomes a technology storytelling, complex solutions, and or if it is simple or complex, the kind of partnership which clients want to do is to also look at the vision of their company and the technology providers company, right? and the ethos. So the large deals happen because of that, right? So I think a video is a fantastic medium to tell those snippets and make an emotional connect. Nothing can replace that, I guess.
Very, very true. Actually, there is a lot of data available on how video consumption is becoming a new normal for many of us, right? In YouTube, over billion of hours of video are consumed every day. And Cisco predicted that 170% there will be increase in video consumption over every year. So yes, video is an effective tool, and being a marketer, definitely it helps us to come up with innovative, emotionally connected campaigns. That was a
Yeah.
good campaign to discuss, Neha. So thank you once again for coming into the show, Neha. Before winding up this session, just to bring the lighter side of you, a couple of questions. So
Okay.
one principle you will live your life by.
One principle I live with. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
One principle you live your life by.
Be myself.
Super.
I think you completely be myself and be bold. I don't restrain from participating, talking, dancing. I think just be myself. That's what it is.
Amazing, amazing, right? That is enough, right? Very good. So one book you enjoyed recently, or one book is all your favorite, all-time favorite. Anything you can choose to say.
So I've been, I'm not a big voracious readers, okay? Like some of my friends are who can finish two books in a week or one book in a week. I may finish two books in a year. That's the kind of background I have. But the one which keeps coming back and we keep, me and my closest buddy, we talk about is Ayn Rand's Fountainhead. It's about individualism and all of that. So that is one which keeps ringing in the head. Currently, I'm reading something called Loon Shots, which I've been reading for a while. I haven't finished it. Again, this book is all about how people shelve good ideas, saying that it may not work, and then somebody picks it up and make it work, right? Picks it up and brings it to the daylight. So I feel that most times we as leaders, we should look out for, are we killing some green shoots of ideas? Sometimes we say no, it doesn't work. We find some kinks in it, which is like very small things. You don't need to kill it. You just have to sit together and see how can you pick up that small thread and make it large. So I find that fascinating because that's what I do with my team. We all there is no restrictions. Anybody picks up phone, and if something comes up in their head, they call me up, and then we discuss and we go over it. So I love that process. So this book is something like that, where you find really brilliant ideas, which is shelved for whatever reasons, because it is ahead of time, because there is no sponsor, because whatever, and how people pick it up, and it has changed the whole world. So it's nice. Yeah, that's a recent one I have. Loon Shots.
Great. I'll definitely give a read for that. So Neha, everybody need to have their own time, right? That is free time, we say very easily, but it's not happens. We don't get free time that easily when we are juggling around, so many balls. But it is very important to have me time, our own time. So what is your me time? What do you like to do in that time?
Okay, so currently I have become a couch potato. Where I do
Oh,
see and catch up on some things on Netflix and all those OTT platforms. I do that.
good.
I love walking. I love walking. So my time of walk time is, I love to do that. Or I sit and watch something. That's another me time. But otherwise, I try and make it like we have a lot of rituals. On Friday evening, it's a family time, so we're all together watching
Good.
anybody's interest areas. Anybody can tell this is the movie I want to watch, the youngest one to the oldest one in the family, and we all sit and watch. So all of that is interesting. That's my kind of a me time for me.
Great, great. One thing which you cannot live without.
One thing which I cannot live without, maybe internet.
I think everybody know it became basic
Okay,
necessity now.
after internet, maybe food.
Basic necessity.
Yeah, I guess those are my. I have very small necessities, basic necessities in life. Yeah, and then I love my coffee, so that also can be slided in.
So, how did you enjoy being at Leaders, Neha?
Sorry, did I lose you? I think there
I
was a
said, how
glitch.
there is a lag. Sorry. How did you enjoy being in Leaders?
I loved it. Thank you for the opportunity. I think I loved, having a chat with you. The whole process of figuring this, what is that the audience want to hear, and what do we want to share. I'm humbled. I hope somebody could get something out of whatever we discussed today.
Definitely.
I'm humbled. Thank you so much.
Thank you for I always say this to everybody. The one gift, precious gift you can give it to somebody is your time, because once you give, you can never get back that, right? There's something you can never earn back is time. So thanks for awarding your precious time with us, and it was very insightful and useful. And I personally learned a lot, Neha. I'm sure a lot of women who wanted to climb up the leadership level and stay there. It is always easy to climb up, right, and sustain and stay. And you are the one. I have seen your profile. From 2006 you are in managerial position and you are sustaining it for long, and you're doing it in your style. I'm sure you're an inspiration, and we all have learned a lot from that, Neha. Thank you once again for coming to the show. To all our audience, those who missed seeing us live, the same is available with the same link in YouTube as well as in all podcast streaming platforms. Before meeting you with one another exciting guest next week, this is Scindia Balasingh signing off from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, everybody. Bye.